Welcome all to a live edition of the last week of the regular season pod. I'm along here with Poppin the Cherry Tyler. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Smoked a joint a little bit ago, so vibing out pretty good. Looking like I'm gonna make the playoffs, so even better. But yeah, so
I'm still ahead of you, so relax.
you are, but holding on. But
You're a strong 22%. So
well, no,
let's
so
relax.
it's different because Pro Cells Ghost isn't eligible for the playoffs, so he bumps out. So that 9 seed is alive and well. So Ryan isn't dead technically either, but anyway,
Nah, he's pretty good.
yeah, it's probably true. But anyway, a couple fan mail questions before we get into what everybody wants to get into. So I got a DM on X from Ed Wants to Bang You.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm hip.
yeah,
I'm with it.
That's his
Anytime.
tag.
Anytime.
Okay. How does it feel to drop an all-time low in points with 51 and then next week come out and drop 155?
I think that's just been my team recently. Very inconsistent, especially out of the running back room.
Yeah.
It needs some work. It could be better. I went back to back to back in the running back room, and it just hasn't panned out as I thought it would.
No.
That's funny because I was actually thinking about that today. But even my big players, like Chase put up like 7. Tua put up like 6. So when everybody's not hitting, you just can't do well.
No, that's fair. And it's surprising with Browning how he's done with the Bengals. He's done, it seems like Jamar Chase is going to be getting hot right at the right time for the playoffs.
And I think with your quarterback going down, they kind of spread the love a little bit more with Burrow. But with the backup, you got to give
your guys the ball. Yeah. Yeah, so Mixon's probably going to be a good if he was on the team that was eligible for the playoffs. But
Mixon, Chase.
Anyhow, besides maybe not Higgins, he's been awful this year.
Yeah, but he's still going to get a bag, so
for sure. But next question from Sherwin Williams' burner: what would you do if you won the belt this year, and what would the victory tour look like?
Honestly, I haven't even thought about that. I've just been focused about getting into the playoffs. I got a strong chance here, but I don't want to get ahead of myself.
No, that's fair.
Go back a couple years. I was in the championship against Purcell, and Chase put up an all-time like 60 points against me. So, I don't want to count it out and just get ahead of myself and start thinking about that. So
yeah, that's fair. And this league does seem to have a history of wide receiver ones blowing up on championship Sunday.
Yeah,
but it's we'll see. I wouldn't know. I've never been in. I don't think I've ever been in a semifinal game in our league. So maybe one day we'll find out. Final question, just from me.
Yeah.
You're currently slated to play the Milkman if the season standings remain the same going into the playoffs. How do we feel about that? I know you just beat them. You feel like you're up for the challenge again.
I am, but I need a strong showing from my entire team again. Especially, it was nice to get DK finally involved.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Let's pull up last week. I just want to see how his team. I know Hill went crazy. Mike Evans is always
Mike Evans had a huge game.
A very good wide receiver this year, even with Baker.
Yeah. And we'll break this down a little bit more as we go through here. But
but I think I kind of like my running back room. Our running back rooms are very similar. They're not great. Our tight ends have been surprising this year as well. So
this Tanner Hudson dude maybe we sweat it out in another league. But I would say other than
I got Schultz.
Schultz has been actually very, very solid, throughout the year. But it's
kind of even. But he's got big play Tyreek and Mike Evans.
Dropping a combined 74 against you.
Yeah, it's hard to win against that. So.
And you found a way to get it done. So I think it just kind of speaks to the way the league is this year. Is really top to bottom. It's really been anybody's league.
I feel like it's like that every year with us, except even though George went crazy in the regular seasons, but didn't do it when it counted. Sorry, George. So.
Hurtful words there. But no, that's cool, man. But last question: are you excited to be a dad?
Erica and I are expecting our first child. I am excited. I'm super excited, but I just don't think it's really set in quite yet.
That's fair.
We've known since she was, super early in the pregnancy, like 5 weeks, 6 weeks. But just going through, the doctor's appointments, her stomach's actually growing. Like hearing the heartbeats kind of setting in, and
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm nervous.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys. It's
Thank
really
you.
exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's too many, a lot of babies coming into this.
There's a lot going on within the league right now.
There's a lot of swimmers swimming around and getting places. But anyway, we'll get back to football. But thanks for answering those hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, I mean, swimmers, Ed's getting married,
Ed is married. That's done.
I mean, is married.
Yeah.
Just a lot of big things happen.
It's been a big year for everybody. So make sure we're sharing the right screen here because I have it on a different. Yep, we're good. All right. So here's standings updated. We have all the way down to 1 through 5 locked in for the playoffs here. Rock Boys is the only surviving 4-loss team. We got a jumble here, and then we got a jumble down here. I mean, in some world, I'm sure, depending upon points for, and we can kind of look at that a little bit, like who can really jump, like Bucher's in the 6th spot right now. He has a big week, and Milkman kind of slows down. He could jump all the way to the 2.
Yeah.
So it really is anybody's game. And just again, a reminder, Purcell's Ghost is not eligible for the playoffs. So this 9 seed. So Ryan and I are still available fighting. I feel like I have a pretty strong hold on it. Just I'm up 41 points going in. So unless I shit the bed and lose and he wins, I'll be in facing Josh in the first round, which is just a great prize for coming in 9th place in this league.
I mean, you never know.
No,
you never know.
You do. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we'll just go down here, do some synopsis of the scores. Mike was our picker last week. He went 3-3. I went 3-3. So still 2 games behind in the picking standard or race. So we do. I know you don't watch the pod all the time. No,
I'm sorry.
But we do a me versus the guest of the week, and we pick 'em. Yeah, we just do a straight up pick 'em, and this needs to be updated.
3-3, just
3
average for a couple average dudes.
There you go. But yeah, so we'll look at this here. Kind of beat the shit out of Mike here. Felt pretty good to get it done that way. Yeah. So just kind of looking at his team. 86 points. Obviously, the story of the day is a lot of underperforming.
Oh yeah.
Charbonnet was the Thursday night superstar.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised by him, man. Especially, I mean, it's a good pickup for him.
Yeah. Well, Walker was out, but yes, he had
he doesn't have the greatest, schedule coming up with like the 49ers again coming up this week. So but nice 16 from him definitely helped.
Absolutely, especially with Saquon on bye, it really feels good to get that done. But Mostert, that was a pretty air raid attack against Washington, as it has been all year against them, and tough defensive game against the Jets. But Ayuk just seems to be consistently producing all year. So obviously 86 isn't going to get it done. But not an awful showing for a lot of guys. No one really boomed. Yeah. And then for my team, Pacheco's been the surprise find of the year in fantasy. I thought he's going to be like maybe a fringe bet flex player, but he's
especially in that offense. I think they're just trying to find an identity. Yeah. And they're struggling to do that. They just don't have any playmakers on the outside, and Pacheco's been very consistent all year for them.
Ton of touches too.
Yeah, I think they're just going to continue to give him touches. Going down, and which is definitely going to help you for your playoff run. Yeah,
and I will say I love the way that he runs. He runs pissed off. He wants to cut a hole in the ground. But Cortland Sutton continues to be great as well. I picked up Falcons defense. Good job, me. Yeah. We'll see how the injury bug goes. I lose Christian Kirk to an exploded nutsack on Monday night.
That hurts,
in more ways than one. Yes.
Yeah. Kirk has been consistent ever since he's been part of the Jags. He's gonna get a lot of targets. I think the offense just flows a little bit better when he's in the field. He's
that Swiss Army knife third down guy.
He can just get open at any time.
Yep. So we picked up the homie Zay Jones.
Yeah.
So I know you're very familiar.
I'm a big Zay guy here.
Yeah.
Went on a torch last year to try to get me in the playoffs, but he just couldn't do it. But that's okay. I'm still a big Zay guy. I drafted him out of spirit for that.
Shout out. Yeah. But now I had to throw in Miles Sanders, and does what he's been doing all year, unfortunately for him. But at least he got paid.
Yeah, good for him.
Moving on to the Tomcat Throat Yogurt versus Team Nate. Winner in the playoff hunt still
losing battle of ass around here.
It was Team Nate was this team that we expected to kind of get going once Kyron got healthy and Achane got healthy, and they popped off this past week, but everyone else didn't get the memo.
Yeah, and Stevenson's hurt now. That doesn't really help him.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Diggs on
Taylor's hurt again. So he's just got too many injuries, and I think it's just a little too late for him to make a push. I mean, Williams helps, Devon coming back, but I mean, Carr's now hurt.
Yeah, this was a game he really needed to have, and so it kind of just stinks because he definitely was making the right move, and this roster is really strong.
Yeah,
I mean that just seems to be a consistent.
And Godwin, I don't know what's going on with Godwin now.
His wife's posting on social media about how he's not playing or whatever. I
mean TBT when they had Jameis and
oh my God,
Evans and him, which was consistently both of them putting up
100 catches a year. Yeah. But
25 points weekly from both of them,
Yeah, but
I don't know. I think they're kind of falling out of love with them for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a good fair question, but yeah, just a really tough week for Team Nate here. Not the showing you wanted in the must-win game, and then Tonkat continues to put up this 105 or 105 110 a week.
Law, nice, finally coming around to what we thought was
might play this week after a high ankle sprain, which is surprising.
I feel like a little bitch when you have it, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean it's a good win, man. Your entire bench is on bye. Had to make some really tough decisions in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I mean Devontae back, Jordan Addison's going to be back.
Yeah, I have to come and bring it with points this week. My team's
his running back room could be a little bit better. It was nice to see Connor actually get some touches and get some touchdowns to what we're accustomed to.
Well, it's crazy what happens when you're actually winning in a game for once and running back actually can touch the ball.
Yeah, but I mean, you got Hunt, you got Swift. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that run game in Philly.
So weak to didn't he get hurt?
I don't know. They just don't use them.
That San Fran game was so weird. Anyway, they just got set behind the 8 ball. They couldn't afford to run anyway. But
I don't even know if they tried. It just reminded me of Ravens offense sometimes, and they're getting away from
when you get out of your element and you get down a couple scores. We've seen it here where coordinators or whomever get out of touch with who they are as a team, but. Yeah, gets the win here, keeps his playoff hopes alive.
Shout out to the Colts defense, though.
Yeah, no kidding. Big pickup there. It's impressive I assume they had a touchdown here.
Sure they had a.
Let's see. They had what? 6 sacks, 4 fumble, touchdown. That's right. They had. That's right. I forgot about that. But
pull that up again real quick. Scroll down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, points against. I mean, 60. Look how they've been doing. 31, 18, 16, 22.
They get a lot of turnovers, man. They're hot right now. And what are they probably? Number 4 defense. And you wouldn't know it from any of the games that they play. Because they seem to give up a lot of points.
They do.
The 2 touchdowns. Say 4 defensive touchdowns this year. That's going to get it done. But Ryan's playoff hopes alive. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Team that's on fire right now. Wuhan is real hot early, fell off.
Yeah.
Come back with a vengeance now against Team Bucher, who's been on a relative slide from his 5-1 start. Still a really formidable team.
Team Bucher.
Yeah, I would say losing Andrews and Walker really puts a sting, and Jalen Warren's going to be a really nice player to have on the roster there. But Wuhan, the story remains the same. Christian McCaffrey carries. Chuba Hubbard appears to be the guy to have. I don't remember if he drafted him or if he just picked him up early in the year when Miles Sanders was struggling.
I think he picked him up
because I know he drafted Sanders. But obviously Hubbard, fantastic pickup. Debo, monster day, 40 points.
That was nice. I mean, we haven't really seen that from Debo this year.
No, this was the welcome back to 2021 Debo.
Yeah, when he went crazy.
Yeah, and then
Pittman's always going to get the ball.
This guy,
I love that pick when he drafted him because he's just going to get consistent targets.
And this is what Pittman was supposed to be last year when everyone was really high on him. But I mean, look at these targets. I mean, other than the 2 here and the 1 here, it's your love and life as a fantasy.
He had 16 targets last week. That's
so, and I think we even talked about this on last week's pod. But this running back to tight end, and his tight end is Hawkinson.
Yeah.
I'd probably take that over anybody else who's in the league right now. So the quarterback is a little lacking, and I know we had the whole situation with the trade, but Baker Mayfield ain't really any better than Will Levis, but that's not really the point. But this team can beat anybody.
Yeah, and you got Myers on the bench. Like, he's been very surprisingly for the
with the new coaching regime, he's been a little on the inconsistent side. I know he had a huge week recently.
I think that just goes for the entire offense, even Devontae too.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think they just like Myers there. He's a really good fit in my opinion there. So
but no, it seems this is a really, really strong team. I see we're going to get Hawkins back in the starting lineup and probably pull T out of the flex because
I wonder if he stays.
He did start Odell a couple weeks ago when I played him, and Odell had that nice game. And Odell has been, the last week kind of sucked, but the 3 before that were really strong, doing a lot with a little, honestly. But this team's really strong, and again, 155 is going to get it done most weeks. And then Team Bucher, Dak continues to play at an MVP level.
I think he might be MVP this year.
If Purdy slows down a little bit, because right now
I think it's them too. Right now, I don't know how you can pick anybody besides Purdy, or you can't even make a case for Tyreek. He's going to put up.
I would probably put Dak ahead of Purdy just because Dak, I feel like, is playing at just a different level right now than really anybody else with the position.
Yeah.
But, Tyreek, all the same, he's going to have to hit 2,000 yards for that. For
sure. I've always been a big Dak guy. So
it's just cool to see. But Derrick Henry, the swings of this continue. Huge week here. Pollard's been
finally coming on slightly
3-4 weeks in a row here. But now it's
you got DJ Moore on the bench. He's throwing by.
So this team again. I know what we say this every single week, but this is anybody's league to win.
Yeah,
and
Jags defense hurt him.
Nick's going to be in the playoffs. Yeah. It's, pretty much a foregone conclusion.
And Waddle, man. Waddle's been a disappointment.
Yeah, that's a guy that we've wrapped on a bunch on here this year. But just the ebbs and flows. He's been a little bit better, but you're expecting him to be this 15 points a week, 6. You're expecting that every week. You can live with 8 targets and all that, but it's not what we want.
No.
But so still he can go for 30 any week. I'll say 20. I'll bump it down, but still a really strong roster. Tough team. 113 is going to beat a good handful here still, and you're on a bad bye week and have some injury issues. So if he can get Kenneth Walker back by the playoffs, which I think might be possible,
I think so.
Is be a good swing. But game that I was very wrong about. Review camera put up a huge number.
Purdy's been. Purdy.
Does he put Lamar back in, or does he just rock with Purdy, man? Because this dude's been on.
Who does Purdy play? Purdy.
Purdy plays Seattle.
How do you do? 10. He put up 10.
Yeah. Those divisional Seattle and the Florida. They're a lot of emotion. Those teams are always. I've had Gino the last couple of years in another league, and I tend to not try to play him when they play the Niners, obviously because their defense is good. But I notice quarterback play in those games is usually a little bit below what we're looking for. Not that 21 for 30 for 209 and a touchdown is bad, but
it's just not what you
not fantasy good. It's like Lamar. Like Lamar's played really well this year, all in all, but but fantasy wise, he's had a good handful of these pedestrian games and a couple of monster games. But do we consider leaving Brock Purdy in for this playoff push? I think we could.
Yeah, I think you can go either way.
Yeah, it's a tough decision though. I think you can kind of
very matchup dependent, probably.
Yeah, I think you can probably beat yourself up a little bit if you choose wrong.
For sure.
But we were confused. We were concerned about these running backs, and obviously RIP to Tank Dell.
Yeah,
that's going to really hurt.
That's going to suck.
What do we do? Having Freiermuth and he's got a lot of.
I think McBride should go in the flex. I've seen it happen in my other leagues. But I think he's just going to get consistent. Look at those targets. 14, 9, 7, 9, 9. He's just going to get the target share, especially now. Ertz is actually gone from Arizona.
Yeah,
I think Kyler is a big fan. Is a big fan of Nick Bryan, and I think why not?
Tall, athletic white dude, give him the ball, represent.
So just put him in, see how he does.
Yeah, we hate that first week of the playoffs.
It does.
We don't love that, but it's got some really tough decisions to make, though. Do we Obviously, I traded him Rashad White for
Right.
Kittle, and that trade's worked out gloriously for Ed. He's been on an absolute tear since I traded him. Of course, that's usually how my luck works.
Yeah.
But
I remember when he first drafted, we were a little hesitant about the AJ Devonta.
It's worked out well.
It's worked out really well.
This is really one of the first weeks where they've kind of both produced.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, you're
works,
getting a consistent 35 to 40 points each week from them too. So it's been worked out. And then Laporta has been the sneaky find.
Yeah.
Obviously he's still putting up great numbers and good team.
It was a nice bounce back week for him.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, he had, I believe he had a tough loss week before, but this was a good get right game, locked up a playoff spot. And
some options in that flex. I mean, you got Hall, you got
Flowers
if you want,
McBride, even Freiermuth. I would like Freiermuth probably more with Pickett as opposed to Trubisky, but
I think
I think that's probably more.
Pickett's I think gone for a couple of weeks. So
he might be back for the very end of the year.
Yeah.
So but yeah, nothing really again, we don't talk about Purcell's ghost much on here because
understandably.
No reason to, since he can't make the playoffs or not a relevant member of the league. But anyway, moving on. This one got close at the end.
It did.
We were an Evan Ingram, couple of catches at this point in overtime to getting this thing done for George here and really shocking the world and beating Josh. But Josh plugs in. Jordan Love has a fantastic day against the Chiefs.
He's been really good and really hot.
Don't know what's going on with Eckler.
I think he's washed, dude.
Yeah.
I think he's washed. He's just not good.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's not running with the same ability that he had.
Even like his 20-point of performance against the Jets, like you're averaging 3.4 yards.
No, I think he's averaging 3.5 yards a carry this year.
Not gonna get it done.
No, it's not. We'll see what this Denver's defense has been playing better, but they're not super great against the run. Vegas is a very iffy defense, and Buffalo, since they've lost Milano, has been very pedestrian. So could he have a nice playoff run here? Denver twice. Absolutely. And could we just get check down machines? Absolutely. Yeah. But Kamara is going to carry this team.
I love that pick. I was very upset when he actually took him because he was on my radar to take him.
You were one of the few then, because I know we gave him a lot of crap for picking Kamara.
I was a big Alvin. I picked him in my other league in round 5 or 6, and he's just been going crazy for me.
Marquise just get a nothing burger.
Yeah, you got to do
3 targets each.
I know he's dealing with a little bit of a heel injury. But his backups. You got Scary Terry. You got
who also had 0 this week.
Thielen coming back down to life.
Yeah, he's been kind of shitty the last.
He was a nice surprise in the beginning half, but after the bye, he's been pretty bad.
Yeah, this is where the Achilles heel of this team, I think, is. If Eckler's right, it doesn't really matter. If Eckler's going to get you 15 and Kamara, it seems like he's going to get you 20 every week. Yeah. And CD is playing obviously fantastic. And then Allen. So you do need your wide receiver 2 to be the best wide receiver 2 ever. No, but you need more than 0.
Yeah, you need more than
and Taysom Hill's been a sneaky pickup.
Yeah, I like that pickup. I think I tried to get him during that same week. When he was on there.
He's funny because he has like these 2 or 3 big games, but this year it seems like he's really been.
They're just kind of giving him the balls in just a couple different ways. He's getting goal line touches. He's actually throwing the ball. He's actually getting some targets.
Yeah, they're using him differently, I think, a little bit than they have in years past. But so, can he still show up with a 2-pointer? Sure. Yeah. Josh's team is beatable, but if these running backs get going at the same time, it's kind of it's going to be tough to beat. And
he's by far probably my favorite team in the league.
Yeah, it's
consistent.
It's a nice guy to root for, and it's a good team, and it's very consistent. They put up a lot of points. Obviously, they have very strong hold on most points for. But George, really strong effort here. Really sucks. Again. That just tough year and just a lot of bad luck, a lot of underperforming, but made it interesting. We appreciate you setting the lineups and appreciate you trying. Just for sure, so it really sucks Jefferson being out for as long as he has been because Curtis Samuel's been a fine replacement. Not really.
Not fine. Not called fine.
He's been okay.
8, 9, given that. But if you have Amon-Ra and Jefferson going at,
because these guys, Harris and Williams got going like week 7, week 8. Yeah. So if you pair that, and that's right when Jefferson got hurt. So just the timing of this team didn't really work out, and tough going. But appreciate the effort and appreciate the try, and then I'll let you lead with yours and kind of wrap on this. But this was a really exciting game going in, and you were down 45 points or so.
It was a good amount. But But I mean, Chase had a huge day. Got Travis putting up a respectable 15.6. I think it was just needed. It was about time Chase had a big day. I think this is the first big day he's had since probably maybe like the Cardinals game. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean
Houston,
and then San Francisco, the Arizona.
Yeah. So
Jesus Christ.
So I mean that's just, but I think touching on it earlier, I think they're just gonna feed Chase. They're gonna give him the 12 to 15 targets with the backup quarterback, which is definitely gonna help me down in the playoff push and
absolutely,
playoff run, and then finally get some production out of DK.
Yeah. I've always been a pretty big anti-DK guy, understandably so, just because of the production.
Yeah, I mean, you expect something better from him simply because you think he is a wide receiver one on that team.
Yeah, no,
the targets say it, but the production to match the targets just haven't been there for the last couple of years.
Yeah,
I know
him and Gino. Yeah,
I got some hate on it when I picked him in, I think round 2 or 3. But I mean, hopefully, if he comes on strong the next couple of weeks, and definitely
whatever gets it done when it matters most, because you're pretty much good for the playoffs here. So it's
finally, and shout out to Pierce too. Finally got me a touchdown.
Yeah, and it must need starting spot.
Yeah,
with Madison on bye. I'm sure you weren't loving having him starting.
No, but it was nice, and I get Dalton back. I'll probably put Madison back into the starting lineup.
Yeah. I think that's probably the right thing to do. And then you also get Schulte getting in there as well. So I know he's injured this past week, but yeah, no, really strong performance. Obviously, 160 is a fantastic number. To talk on Milkman's team here,
I mean,
just
I'm happy CJ didn't have a huge game in Denver. They were moving the ball pretty consistently.
Yeah, they were,
but they just couldn't get any touchdowns. Besides Pierce, and couldn't get anything going. I mean, Nico went crazy, but he couldn't get a touchdown. Hill and Evans, man, they're just going off this year.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike's boy, Mike Evans.
I'm just surprised he was only projected 13. I feel like, what is he, top 6 wide receiver?
I don't know. He is number 6. Good call. Nice pull.
I mean, he's just been crazy this year.
Yeah, last 3 out of 4 over 22.
Yeah, look at the targets, 10, 12, 9, 12. Shout out. He's one of the most underrated wide receivers.
And look at these matchups we got coming up. Atlanta, soft. Green Bay, secondaries, iffy. Jacksonville, they got they got moved on by Bengals and Browning. So, and the Saints aren't very good. So.
No, but he never does, in my opinion, that well against the Saints.
Lattimore does a good job on him.
They've got some beef going back a couple of years. That's always fun to watch.
Yeah, he might get a red zone fade though. You never know.
Even if he's in the game that long, they might get kicked out again. We'll see.
Yeah, that's very true.
Singletary's been a nice pickup for him. It's going to be curious to see how Houston uses both him and Pierce going forward.
Yeah, it seems like last couple of weeks has been back to reality of being a backup. But what other options we got? We got Jerome Ford and Josh Jacobs. So and
that's
Herbert.
why I say our running backs are very similar. He's got Jacobs. I got Travis. RB1s typically, but RB2s are a little bit shaky. We got fantastic wide receiver ones. His wide receiver 2 is a lot better than mine, but
on a consistency basis for sure. Should be really, if you guys face together, that should be really fun and great pickup with Rashee Rice. I know I talk about that a lot. That guy's been like the one consistent. I know he had a bad fumble this week, but he's been the one consistent piece for that offense in the receiving, besides Kelsey. But even Kelsey's been a little shaky this week. But all right,
that offense just doesn't like the playmakers. Like last year, they were okay, but I just don't know. They're struggling.
No, that's fair for sure. Looks like we do have a set lineup here. I'm debating my flex here, but projection looks fun. Looks like an exciting game.
Let's see. I think he's come on the last couple of weeks.
Oh, and I think Watson's going to be out for a bit with that hammy, so
I think
I might leave him.
He might get some targets there.
Especially against
who else you got? You're gonna go Downs by maybe. Kirk. No.
Yeah.
Mitchell, I don't know if you really trust Mitchell.
I'm still, it's a weird spot. I think I leave it. I think it's good. Because I'm pretty sure that Watson's
let's see how he's done.
So nothing.
A 16, 17, 13.
Yeah.
I mean, now you got Watson coming out
Against the Giants.
against the
Too.
Giants. I mean, he might be looking at like 8 targets, you know?
Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, looking at the projection here, Milkman's going with Fields. Over Stroud. Well, Jets defense, I guess. That's interesting.
Yeah, probably.
I don't hate the idea there though, but
No,
just looking at this, I have a hard time picking myself to beat
And
Zach's
Fields,
team.
put up huge numbers against Detroit a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So
I mean, I kind of like the pick.
Yeah, put up 23. Yeah, so I just have a hard time picking him. You know, Tyreek's going to go off against Tennessee, and Evans is playing so high or playing. Oh, is this even your? Oh, this is right. Why is Mike Evans? No, never mind. I got myself confused.
Yeah, what do you?
My apologies.
Yeah.
Deepest sympathies, but no, I just have a tough time seeing myself beat this team.
Yeah, I
right
mean,
now,
the projections. I mean, you're 111. He's 118 ish.
Well, we're only
sorry.
off.
Now I'm getting all messed up.
We're looking at the averages of the.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, only a point. I mean, but I mean, you need a couple big days. I mean, Olave, he might be getting more targets. They seem to open all the offense with Winston.
Yeah, Jameis lets it rip to him, so we love that. And
Yeah,
the Chargers defense is awful, so Sutton should have a nice day. But
yeah, I think they just love. I mean, I think they just push the ball down the field a little bit better with Winston in there.
I think you're probably right. Derek Carr loves the old check down.
I mean, I think 1 week, Alvin had like 14 targets.
I think he had like 13 touches. Yeah.
For like 40 yards. Like,
yeah. Do I see a way that I can win this game? Sure.
Is Aaron Jones actually playing?
He practiced today, so I think so.
I know he had that knee injury.
We'll see. I expect him to play. I would love to get a win. I'd love to put up some nice points this week. I'll have to monitor Aaron Jones, and I'll probably swap in Keaton if he's down, or Roshan, but most likely Keaton. But we'll see. But yeah, I lean Zach here. What do you?
Yeah. I mean, I think just the big playability from Hill to Evans, even Jacobs the last few weeks.
Yeah.
He's got a really favorable matchup with Fields and Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit's defense was really good in the beginning of the year, but it's been very susceptible these last few weeks. But I mean, it can go any. I mean,
it should be. I think it'll be closer than that.
It's going to be a little bit closer than I think you realize, especially I think Olave is going to get a ton of looks this week. I mean, Pacheco is going to get a ton of touches this week. Herbert might have should have a fairly decent game against Denver. So I think, I'll probably go Milkman, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if you pull out a win here.
I would love that to get the playoff vibes going in the right direction. So we got Wuhan here versus Team Nate. Wazinski did set his lineup, put Odell on the flex, kind of what I suspected. And then Nate has Taylor's dead. That's right. Yeah. So it looks like we got a lineup set here too. So projection looks about accurate.
Yeah.
Again, kind of I'd have a hard time going against the way that the 49ers are playing football right now to not go with Wazinski's team right now, and this team's been on fire the last 3 weeks. So I think
you're always in it when you have McCaffrey. So.
Yeah, and with the way this team's operating right now, I see this projection being a bit bigger of a blowout because Team Nate just really is struggling to.
You need some big days out of his running backs here.
Yeah,
even try to be somewhat close.
And Diggs has frankly been a little bit on the downtrend of late too.
Yeah, so. Same thing with going on with Kansas City, but Buffalo's offense just hasn't been as crisp as it's been in the last few years.
I think the fact that they just don't run the ball effectively has really caught up to them this year.
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
Haven't really ran the ball that well over the last couple of years.
Well, that's what I mean. And Josh Allen's fantasy quarterback won, but wins and loss wise. But
that's what happens when you carry the ball 14 times as a running back.
That's fair. But these are not the Stephon Diggs numbers that we're accustomed to seeing. Some tough matchups in here too.
Yeah. The other thing too is I think with Davis too, sometimes they just fall in love with them.
And Kincaid is by far his favorite new target to have. It seems like that guy's been a must play every week.
Yeah, I think the targets have just been a little bit more diverse this year. that's been not as great.
Because if I'm playing the Bills, I want Gabe Davis to beat me. I don't want Stephon Diggs to beat me. That's just that seems like basic coaching. But looking at this one, I think Wuhan wins this one pretty handily.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he just has big days out of everyone, like TJ, Debo.
Odell's going to score against his old team.
Yeah,
right?
they're definitely going to try to get him the touchdown there.
Yeah, it seems like a nice little prop bet to sprinkle on there.
Yeah, I think Pittman is going to have a pretty good day against Cincinnati.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I see Wazinski kind of blowing this projection way out of the water.
I'd be shocked if he loses.
I would as well. I think this one's a handy
win.
win.
That previous matchup, he put up 130.
Yeah.
So
team's balling. Yeah, tough way to end the year for Team Nate, but and trending the right direction here with this team. Definitely an improvement from last year, which is you say what you say here. But Team Coleman here versus the Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad what's happened with Purcell because I mean he has an actual pretty decent team. He's had some nice finds with Nico and Puka and Moss.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not really too worried about my matchup because it doesn't really count, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's the position we're in.
The win-loss does count, but yeah, you're pretty much in the play. I think you are in the playoffs, officially. So it's just.
I mean, even though my projection's only 108, I mean, I could have a big day from Chase again.
Sure, I think that 14 is a very low. Indy does not play. I mean, we saw that they put up points on defense, but they give up a ton of points as well.
I think Travis might have a pretty tough day in Cleveland.
We'll see. We'll see what the quarterbacking situation is there because if it's Beathard playing, you probably see a lot of screens, a lot of checkdowns, probably a lot more runs. But if Lawrence is playing, they might
but that's just a tough defense in general. I mean, they got all pros at every level.
Yeah, that's a really solid defense. Yeah, so we'll see. But ETN can definitely find the end zone and still put up a good 15 points.
Madison has a good day. I mean, Vegas hasn't been great this year, so
Minnesota, we'll see with how they handle things. I think Dobbs is starting again this week, so we'll see. I mean, I'll probably lean.
Brosell's gonna win, to be honest. So.
I think
he should his wide receiver room's just very.
Let's look at. I mean, Keenan Allen has been dominant all year. Puka, he seems to be matchup proof. Ravens play a lot of zone, so that might limit his yardage. But he'll probably get 10 catches, knowing how that works. Nico's going to have a huge game. I think that's not really going to be surprising.
We'll see how Sauce does against them. I mean, Nico's going to get a ton of targets.
Yes.
With Tank going down.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, I mean, what did I feel like everything looked at the screen last. 11, 9, and 12. So, been on target hog since he's been back. But, this, I think.
It's a very solid team.
It is.
He should have made a really good run.
I agree.
Into the playoffs. I know we gave him a lot of shit in post draft, but I mean he hits the waiver wire better than probably anybody that I know in this league or in my other league. But I mean it's just unfortunate.
I agree with with what you said there, but I'll lean Purcell's team here.
176 week 5.
There you go.
Jamar Chase
that was the
legend game right there against Arizona.
It's kind of like you're that team that obviously is like the super swingy team. I feel like we've had 3 or 4 of those throughout the year. Teams that just Purcell's team was that at one point where he has 3 weeks in a row of 80 points, but obviously you going from 51 to 160 is your team could show up anywhere. So that 108 projection is kind of smack in the middle of that.
I can't believe I put on 150. As soon as I saw Josh was going crazy, I didn't even look until Wednesday afternoon the following week.
But no, here we go. Yeah, I'll say Purcell's Ghost wins this, makes this interesting. I don't think I can pass you in points for, but it would be fun to do that. But I don't think
who knows? Maybe Tua has a huge day against Tennessee, so
it's quite possible. Let's see here. We got Bucher versus I'm on a new level. Just with how the season's been going for George, I'm just gonna pick Nick to win here. But
is Jefferson playing?
I believe he's gonna play this week. Yeah, so it makes this interesting.
Shout out to George for setting the lineup.
Yeah, mad respect to George. I know he listens to the pod every now and again, and we do appreciate that. Even though this year has not been your year. That you have.
He did get engaged, so
I'm
surprised you said yes. I mean,
that's fair. He's a special guy though.
I love George, even though he's kind of an asshole, but
that's his part of his charm.
Yeah,
But
you tend to love it after a while.
you learn to love it. Yeah. But anyway, I think Nick's team probably wins it here, gets a much needed win. I think the Cowboys are playing at a high level. Dak and Pollard are gonna probably have nice days, and
we'll see. I mean, that Phillies defense. I mean, it can go either way.
They just let up 40 against San Fran.
That's true, but I mean, they might come out with a vengeance.
We'll see how they bounce back.
Top of NFC for that spot there against their rival.
Yeah,
I mean, they might come out hot. You don't know. They got embarrassed last week.
Yeah, and I think another problem is Najee Harris is banged up. I think Warren's going to get bulk of the love tonight. So I think.
It is Thursday. I forgot.
Barnburner game tonight, baby. Mitch Trubisky versus Bailey Zappi. Lock it in. Lowest over-under since 1993.
What is it?
30.5.
Oh, my God. It's like Iowa.
It might be like watching Iowa. But we got the bets dialed in. We got the props locked in. We'll be dialed in.
We got an anytime touchdown in there?
Both defenses, baby.
Okay. I like it. How many did you do over field goals?
Oh, that's a good one. Maybe I should revisit. I know Ryan probably did.
Yeah.
Ryan's a big over field goals guy all of a sudden. But now
PFT in there. Yeah. Not quite the hair though.
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, but no,
Jordan, I want to do this more often.
it's fun. Yeah, it's a good time, man. But yeah, Nick's team I think is looking to get on the right track here for the playoffs, and I think George can definitely has a vision here of winning this game.
Try to get Amon-Ra from him.
Amon-Ra, yeah. I mean, he's a reasonable guy. He's not just going to give up on the year.
He's keeper next year.
We'll see how he wants to strategize. He locked up the number one pick, so he's got some wiggle room.
Is that true? He has number one pick next year.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because we do it
record.
We do it by record. Yeah, that's how we did it last year.
I don't pay attention.
Well, that's good. But yeah,
I'll figure it out.
You should just show up. Now,
my lineup, I hit the waiver wire.
That's all you got to do.
Get some doubts.
There it is. But yeah, I see a path for George to win here for sure. It starts with these two, obviously. Georgia's team was a team I was really high on this year coming in, just because of these two guys. But
Evan Ingram's been a really nice pickup too.
Yeah, he's been very solid. But
shout out to him, Evan Ingram. I mean, he some terrible years at the Giants and found a home and
figured it out. Yeah, so this projection feels slightly hateful for George, but I just think Nick's team kind of gets it going. The only way is if really Philly comes in Sunday night and really corrects a lot of their mistakes. But
DJ could go crazy too.
Yeah,
he's been huge this year.
Yeah, he's been a guy.
Honestly, even when Buchner picked him, I was like, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I knew there was a lot of hype coming in, obviously with him going to the Bears and everything like that in that trade and the huge coming out party against Washington. But I mean, a little bit of a rough stretch in here, but all in all, obviously the 53 points helps. But wide receiver 10,
I think you take that.
Absolutely. I mean, look at all these targets too since Fields has been back. So this is the bad Bajan era. So.
Shout out to Shepard.
Yeah, Shepard, you baby.
That's football, you actually.
Yeah, man. I think Nick gets a much needed win here. Gets the vibes going right for the playoffs. And George, we appreciate the love we'll see in the consolation bracket. Probably playing Pro Cells Ghost next week, but we'll see if you can pull off that upset. But yeah, moving on to the next to last matchup here, Tonkat versus Rearview. Playoff implications are on the line here for Ryan.
Yep.
He needs a win, needs to lose, and he needs to make up 41 points on me to pass me. So is it doable? Yes. It's plausible. I don't want to speak too much hate in the air here, but going with Josh Dobbs.
I mean, the Dobbs Addison might go crazy, even with Jefferson being back. Dobbs might not have the familiarity with like he does Addison. So
that there probably is something to be said for that. Actually, that is a pretty strong point. What do we get out of DeAndre Swift against Cowboys defense?
Yeah.
Who knows? What do we get out of Gus?
Yeah.
Just a lot of question marks. That's kind of been the theme.
Ridley hasn't been what we thought he would be.
I do like with Kirk being out that Ridley's going to kind of
I don't know. I think when even Kirk was out, he just didn't. It just wasn't there.
You know who opened up the world for Ridley was Zay Jones. When Zay Jones plays, Ridley goes off. Yeah. So maybe that continues. Maybe teams key on him more. We shall see. Kelsey, I know he's tight end one again, but man, it does not feel like it this year.
No. This is probably the more the predecessor,
So they're what, 33 years old. Just
I forget how old he is. You know?
he's same age as Gronk.
Yeah, that's crazy. I always forget about that. I always think he's like, later 20s for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, not 102 pick here. Obviously, not what you want out of that type of player.
Yeah.
I don't hate the pick. I thought it was the
Yeah.
right pick at the time. I would have done it too. It's just not what you're expecting when you get the best receiving tight end to ever play, probably. So, yeah, tough win.
He's better than Gronk.
I mean, statistically, he is.
Okay.
I don't think that's a far-fetched statement at this point.
I just know it's always in between them.
If Gronk played longer, I think it wouldn't be a comparison. But but anyway, looking at Ed here is sticking with Purdy. It looks like put Zay in the flex. I like that. I think that Zay is gonna really should be the guy that emerges with Andrews being out.
Yeah, I mean you would hope so, but I mean them against the Chargers didn't look great. They try to throw way too many screens that just don't go anywhere. Besides the one that got called back from Zay a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I think they just need to open up the offense a little bit better. Like they can consistently run it really well, but so there's no reason to throw another 5 screens in there.
No, it's whatever's working, and I do think with Zay the hindrance is his height and stature. Yeah. Obviously, fantastic route runner, great hand.
Just gets open.
It's hard to throw jump balls to a guy who's 5'10", 5'9", but
you don't have to do that.
But that's so it's just but there's definitely plenty of ways to get him the ball in space. So we'll see if that continues. He's had a very strong year though as a rookie, and it's been exciting. But
for sure.
This Dallas game is gonna be really fun. Yeah. Obviously, Dallas is shown that they're susceptible to get thrown on.
Yeah.
Shout out Geno Smith.
Yeah.
But so I think the Eagles.
It's gonna be a fun one.
I think it's gonna be a really exciting game.
The running backs have some favorable matchups.
Gibbs against Chicago. Yeah, and Rashad against Atlanta.
I wonder if he switches out to the Jets defense against Houston.
I mean, we'll Chargers against Denver. I don't love that.
No,
we'll see
what's in the waiver wire.
Yeah, we'll see what's out there. But it's interesting though.
I like Ed's team.
I do too. I think Ed wins this one pretty handily as well. Unfortunately for Ryan, I think his late run is over. He has some interesting questions moving forward about as far as the keeper, the draft strategy, because this is 2 years in a row now of kind of fading running backs, going receiver heavy. Obviously, the Ridley move did not work out.
I was really high on Ridley. Everyone was eyeing him.
Everyone was, and I don't think it was a hateful pick, but this is 2 years in a row. Ryan going really receiver, pass catcher heavy, and it not working out. So, not that I'm the best fantasy player of all time, but 2 years in a row.
I mean, I went running back heavy. I went running back heavy in this league and my other league, and it just hasn't panned out. Yeah.
So it's a lot of luck that goes into this.
Some good balance.
That's very true, but. Last one here, Rock Boys versus
nice matchup here.
Yeah, this one
preview of the championship, maybe.
I don't think so.
I like Kate's team, man.
Do you?
I do. I think he's got Quan, you got Mahomes. I mean, you got Dallas Goedert back. You got Wilson. Wilson still gets a ton of targets, even with Wilson or Boyle as quarterback.
Wilson again.
Is it Wilson? Mm-hmm. So, could it be a slight preview of the championship here?
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, Mike's team can get right. Obviously, not trending the correct direction the last couple of weeks here, and the points for on the year are on the lower side. I mean, he's above me, but still on the lower end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I think he just needs a little consistency out of his running back room.
Mm-hmm. The Stevenson trade worked out well.
Yeah, it did work out. I mean, but if Bijan's only putting up 8-9, it's not really going to help you.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Christian Watson, well, he's dead. Never mind. I was going to say he's probably a must start if he's healthy because he's been on fire.
I'm surprised Cooks is not in there. Cooks has been very surprising this year. He's come on very late this year.
Don't love the volume, but the production's there.
The production's there. I mean, the volume's not going to be there with CD.
True. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think Josh wins this one pretty handily.
Josh's team is just so good.
I think this is a get right spot for Eckler. I think he's going to do it.
We'll see. I don't know.
I'm a believer. Josh.
I think his shoulder pads are a little bit too big for him too. If you ever looked at him,
He does have some big pads. He's a small dude.
He's a small dude, but I don't know. He just doesn't look like the same guy we're accustomed to.
No, I mean late 20s running back. It's about what you get.
Yeah.
Kamara, on the other hand, late 20s running back is playing at a fantastic level. His yards per carry isn't great, but the catches is really
the catches, and
this is what Eckler should be.
Touchdowns.
Yes, he does.
Somewhat. Actually, not. He hasn't had
4 this year. But you just love the volume. I mean, we're talking 20 touches, 19 touches, 16, 13, 20, 20.
Yeah.
We're talking.
So he gets all the touches.
They'll have the 13 catches for 33 yards. It's great. But no, I think this Eagles. Well, now obviously we're gonna have a lot of those are 2 really good teams. So we're gonna have a lot of fantasy games be decided off that game. I think, and I really think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
I think CD's gonna go crazy.
I think they're both really well balanced offenses, and I think they're both just gonna have some nice days, and should be really fun. Montgomery against Chicago should be interesting. So I think these projections are low. I do think Mike probably gets closer to 120. I just think Josh puts up a 150 spot this week.
I mean, like it's very dependent. I don't know. Like Thielen hasn't been great.
I'm not even considering getting anything from Thielen. I just think Eckler, Kamara, Lamb, and Allen are going to produce 110 for me.
I don't know. I'm just not on the Eckler train this year.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to will it because I need him for my playoff push. So I'm trying to will the.
But I'm a big Alvin guy. CD's been great. Montgomery's been great. I mean, you're
the number 1 seed for a reason, right?
Yeah, that's a nice core right there.
Yeah,
I wonder if he stays with the Cowboys defense. Cowboys defense, I think, is 1.
They are number 1.
They've been going crazy this year. It's probably saved them a couple weeks if we go back.
Well, week 1 he put up 43. Definitely won on the week.
Okay, I don't remember that. So that's crazy.
Yeah, because but so who are you picking here to win?
I think we're gonna go Rock Boys here, but I think the recipe's different. I think it's gonna be closer than we think here.
Okay, yeah, and I'm not even trying to hate on Mike's team. I think he still puts up well over this projection. I just think this is a good week for Josh, which is relatively the thing to say. But yeah, week 1, let's look at Josh here. I mean, the Cowboys defense won him the game.
Yeah,
that week against Ryan. Oh, look, Brian put up 104.5 again. But
I mean, see, that could be
be us. So, but just taking one last look at the standings here. So, in reality, here, I mean, the only person who isn't set is me, but 8 up is in. Purcell is out. So, either Ryan or myself will be in this final spot here. I'll have to make the manual change of that going forward when the playoffs start. But everyone else pretty much just jockeying for position. We could see a lot of sliding. So we'll look at some teams that really could jump. We talked about Bucher going from 6 to 2 potentially. Wuhan, he's up at the 3. How far behind is he from Milkman? So he had a couple really bad weeks that really hurt him. I think he could really honestly be the number 1 projection.
Even Ed and Wuhan,
and Ed
very close.
Yep. So I mean, we got so really you and Nick, but we're so you're here. I mean, there's a pretty hard fall off here. Yeah. These are the teams of inconsistency that have
put up 51 points in a week.
It's gonna slow you down.
It's gonna slow that points forward.
That's fair.
So.
But it's interesting that these are in the correct order, and then everything else kind of gets jumbly here.
Yeah.
But it's Takate boys don't like playing at home. We'll just talk about fans are restless. But away, we like to get it done. But so really exciting. Going to be interesting to see who shakes up. I think Josh probably stands in it. If nothing changes, everything stays the same. Purcell's out. So I slide up, I'd be facing Rock Boys. Ed would be facing Mike, which we love. Bucher and Wuhan, that's a good one.
A lot of trash talk on that one.
Yeah. I love it. Yep, absolutely. And then this is where you would be slotted in against Milkman. So a lot of really exciting matchups.
It'd be fun. I like
anybody's game. Yeah, it's just get a seat at the table
and get it done. Right time,
Absolutely.
It's like the Ravens in 2012,
And you got to get that 4th and 29 going.
Yeah.
But man, thanks for joining today.
Course.
Any closing thoughts on the league as a whole or this week?
Not really, to be honest. It's just always fun. Well, now since Purcell's out, hopefully we can get everybody in a live draft. So we'll see.
Yeah,
But
well,
this was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. It felt like I was on the radio or like I
yeah,
was, you know.
like your opinions actually matter. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
I mean, they probably don't. My wife doesn't think so. So
That's pretty standard, though. I think that's pretty normal. But no, I mean the millions of fans we have across the country
Yeah.
and world, frankly, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
A lot of supporters of Team Coleman all across the country.
Yeah.
For
Appreciate that.
for some reason, Tijuana is a really big Team Coleman spot. We get a lot of fan mail from there.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why, but we do. But no, it's always fun running the league. Yeah, I really enjoy doing the podcast. I'm glad we get that I got this idea.
I would love to be back again. I think I did an okay job.
Yeah, maybe you'll actually watch it.
I might watch it
Yeah.
and see if I, pick up on myself and see what I could have done better.
Yeah. So
Or
we'll
you,
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go and see who gets the wins this week, who gets the position, and who gets who in the match.
Maybe I'll come back for a recap.
There we go.
5 minutes away.
Yeah, that's true.
So
If you get off on time, possibly.
yeah, let's see.
But anyway, well, thanks for joining me live. Good luck to everybody this weekend.
Yeah, good luck.
Everyone gunning for that #1 spot. Let's see how it takes out. So,
Oh, yeah.
all right,
See
peace.
ya.